Hello all, welcome to oratrainings.com. In this session, we'll discuss about what is prompts in GenAI. So what exactly prompt is all about? A prompt is nothing but a question you ask about in AI. So it's like, what is the question you ask, right? So you use the generative AI for the purpose of providing a response for you. So it's like a text instruction or a message or a document you ask the Gen AI, and based on the input what you provide, the Gen AI provides a response, right? A prompt can be a simple question or a complex problem. It can be a document. It can be input can be in different formats. It can be text, audio. It can be video. It can be image. Couple of ways you can pass the input to the GenAI model. So the input what you pass to the GenAI is nothing but a prompt, or I can say it's the model I mean to say. So there are a couple of models, generative AI models we have it like a ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, and from many other vendors you have different kind of models which are there. So to provide the question in a proper manner, right? So it's like, when you get a response, if you want to get a proper response, you have to ask the question in a proper manner. The way you ask the question, you'll get an answer. Let us say if you ask a question saying that I want an essay to be written in 10 lines, exactly you'll get in 10 lines. If you don't provide in 10 lines, maybe it may generate the data in 15 lines or it may be 100 lines also, right? And let us say if you want to have generate a content in a specific language, in specific format, in a specific style, in a specific um, font or something like that, right? You can provide the information so that it will provide a appropriate response. So to prepare the prompt in a proper way, so we have some more extra information called prompt engineering. It is the practice of designing effective prompts to get the effective output from the AI models. Okay. So now, how does it start, right? How does the structure of a prompt? Let us say if you are working in the Gen AI for the first time, and if you're not sure, how do you provide a prompt, and what are the context of it? You can observe here the structure of a prompt generally looks like this. Instruction, what you want the AI to do. So you want to use a model, but what is the purpose, right? You want to ask a question, or if you want to provide document, what is your input to the Gen AI model? And the context. So background or details to guide the response. Let us say if you're asking some question and if you want to provide a reference to some particular content, you can mention that. And then the format, how the output you want structured, and any constraint. Let us say if you want to mention some condition, let us say on this particular question you want make sure that you consider this particular requirement, or maybe you don't mention that you don't want a specific to be not considered. So those things you can mention the constraint. Now, so this is how the data flows from a request to response, nothing but a prompt to the final response. So you prepare the question, and the question what you prepare or the prompt that will get divided into a numerical tokens. So that tokenization is a process of like a dividing your content into multiple chunks. That is taken care by the Gen AI model which you're working on. So in that you have a different set of modules which are there, which performs a specific set of functions. So in this one, the tokenization is the process of dividing your data into multiple values, I can say. So then the tokens will be passed to a specific model. It can be a ChatGPT or the different models, Gemini or any other thing. So they will process the input and then provides a response. Again, the response will also be in token, and then those should be de-tokenized, and then you'll get the final response. Okay, so this is how the flows from a request to response or a prompt to the final response. And you can again, we'll reiterate what exactly we are talking about. A prompt is nothing but a question which you are asking to a particular AI model. In our case, I'm just considering it as ChatGPT. So here, if you observe, my question was, what is the capital of India? And then the tokenization process, what exactly it is doing? It is just dividing your input into multiple tokens. It just like dividing your input, which I provided, which is a 6-letter word. It is dividing them, right? A 7-letter, maybe consider question mark also. And generally, most of the times, Python is one of the language which is used for dividing your input into tokens. And then this tokenized content will be passed as an input to any model. It's like a brain which process your input. It thinks and generates tokens for the response. Then it provides a response tokens. So you provide the input tokens, the model processes it, and it provides a detokenized tokens. And then finally, these tokens should be de-tokenized to get a proper response in your normal language, which you have provided the input. So this is how it flows. Prompt, nothing but a question. It is converted into tokens. Then the model processes your input, and then the data what you get from the model it will be in a token format that should be de-tokenized, and then this will be fine-tuned and sent to the response. This is how the data flows from a request to response. Okay, so the same thing again. So some more information. We can see one example here. User input. You type a message or give a task to the AI. Example, explain the festival of Diwali to a 10-year-old. This is my question. So now what is happening? Tokenization. So I'm dividing the input into multiple set of individual words. And this prompt is sent to the model. So maybe you can consider any ChatGPT model or OpenAI model or maybe a Facebook Meta AI model or Gemini model, anything. And then what will happen? The model processes the prompt, nothing but the model will validate your question and tries to get the response from the database which the model has, right? And then it will detokenize and then you'll get a response. Okay. So now we'll just see one of the sample Python script using which we'll understand about tokenize and detokenize. So you can observe here, I am using a package called tick token. So here in this one, we clearly mentioned tick token dot encoding for model. So you want to encode for which model? I mentioned GPT-4. Okay. And this is my input. Text is equal to hello, how are you is my input. And I'm printing the output also. Similarly, this particular one, first of all, I want to tokenize, right? And then you can see here encoding dot encode. This is my input. And you can observe here the output for the input token is like this. And then this input is converted into tokens. Again, when I pass these tokens to this particular decode model, it provided the output exactly the way which I provided as input. So generally, you can observe here in this program, we are able to understand how do you decode, tokenize as well as detokenize. And the main important for this particular program is you need to make sure that you have this particular tick token package. And you can observe here, let us say if it is not available for your Python library, you can just use this command pip install tick token. You should be able to install this library, right? So now let's just see one example from the ChatGPT point of view. So I'll just go here. I'll just ask question, hey, how are you? So now what it is happening? This input is passed to the ChatGPT model, and then I got a response, right? So this is how it works. So now let us say, can you write a letter on solar power in 5 lines? Let's see what does it provide. That's it. Exactly, it provides the information in a 5 lines. So based on the input, you'll get appropriate response. Okay. So in the next session, we'll dig more and we'll see. Thank you.